I just got off a call with a top 25 breaker/owner, and I just heard some of the most horrifying things I have heard since being strongly back in the hobby in 5 years. We're talking about potential fraud here. We're talking about how a certain platform is throttling breakers or not throttling breakers. We're going to talk about audits and how breakers were told how to get around the audits, and how something as silly like a hospital curtain is considered a wall or a sufficient wall between a repacker and a supplier, and just some of the craziest stuff. I'm going to try to keep this anonymous because I can't do this well if I burn my sources. You may be able to figure out who this is by the end of it. He's okay with that, but I'm not going to outright call his name. I am going to name the platform, though, as we go, because this is just something I'm not okay with. The repack carnival games are a joke. And all of you, whether you're new, seasoned, intermediate, whatever, you should hear this warning. You should hear this story. So here we go. All right, so Whatnot, that's who we're going to talk about today. They typically offer a seller a 12% swipe, or a 12% fee or whatever. There's a processing fee, 2.9%. And this major breaker came over from another platform. There is a headhunter that Whatnot uses. I'm not going to name this person, but it is very, very easy to figure out. You go on LinkedIn and you see who's focused on sports cards. That's your person. That person goes around offering deals like any salesman would for a company. They say you can have this for this period of time, and they try to get talent, right? So this particular breaker was offered 2.9%, and he also paid the 2.9 processing fee, and this would be a 6-month deal, and he would get featured. This guy had under 100 followers when he joined Whatnot. He was top 2 or 3 on another major platform. Came over, and then within 3 days of running the show, he had 10,000 followers because Whatnot controls the funnel. The person, the deal maker, kept saying, don't worry, we can take care of that. We can take care of that. They were doing, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's like joke account, 20, 30 followers, and then boom, they're there. And then, after a few days, he noticed he started getting suppressed. He had a burner account. He tried to find his show. He couldn't find it. 10,000 followers, couldn't even get 20 in a show. And this also happened with Chips and Rips, who I will name because he came on my old channel. That happened to him. They decided he was done. He was as big as Backyard at the beginning, and they throttled him out because they control the algorithm. So if you're selling on Whatnot, beware. They are judge, jury, and executioner. But this gets worse. This gets into just the repack, rampant, like carnival games and fraud that just disgust me. So after 3 days, he's getting suppressed. And the reason is another big seller on Whatnot got mad. They didn't like that he had this rate because it was better than almost everybody on there. They didn't like that he had all these followers. So they did actually throttle him. He did low limit stuff there, moved to another channel, did high limit shows. But here's something he said to me that really scared the living crap out of me. He said to me, I'm not talking about wax breaks. It's a whole different thing, and mostly legitimate and can be controlled, and they are audited and so forth. I'm talking about repacks. And if you don't know what that is, you get a slab. First of all, cards come in packs. You take them out of the pack. And then if you're going to repackage that card in any way, gold, silver, platinum, whatever, or you can brand it. This could be Boston Card Hunter Breaks, and I have like a little like sweat on the front or whatever. That is a repack, and they don't really have checklists. There's no government control over these things. It's like a carnival game. If you throw a dart at balloons, you don't know what prize is behind all the balloons. You realize at the end, after you talk to the carny, that behind 99 out of 100 balloons is the small prize, and one is way, way, way in the corner. So yeah, you get the prize, but you don't ever get the actual good prize. That's what Whatnot is. That's what these repack games are. He said to me, every repacker knows the card that's going to come every single time. And that scared the living shit out of me. It's almost like a Jose Canseco moment. He's like, everybody's doing steroids. And you're like, oh, yeah, this dude's nuts. Well, let me tell you, it sounds like there's almost, just there's so many shenanigans going on with repacks there. He also told me, I'm going to get into this, like, Whatnot tried to bring the hammer down. December of last year with the repacks. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. It all has to do with the IPO and going too fast. But before I get there, he's telling me like if a repacker does like 100K in a show, 70K of that just gets melted into the platform and goes to the breaker. 30% back goes to the buyer. And he's just like, how sustainable is this? It's not. Newsflash, it's not. Whatnot is a terrible business model. They are eventually going to fail. And I think they know it, which is why they're hustling to that IPO. But here's what they had to do first. They knew the repacks situation was so bad there that they came down with an audit. And let me tell you what he said the audit was all about. So this audit, they came through. It was like in legalese. He could barely understand. He said it was like speaking Vulcan. So he goes to the rep. He's like, what the hell do I need to do? And they walk him through what to do to get through the audit. Proof of separation, an NDA signed by the repacker and the packing team. But here's the kicker. This is the hook of the whole thing. They don't require you to be in a different location. You could have a curtain up, a hospital curtain, and that is sufficient separation of business. Let that sink in for a minute. And, they need things like invoices, a manifest of receiving cards, source your own cards, whatever. So they require this stuff because you know things aren't on the up and up with repacks. It's bad situation. And Whatnot doesn't go public or make comments about anything unless it's really bad. So they brought the hammer down on this repack because it's the biggest risk to their IPO. And now they are marching ahead with this. And it makes me wonder, they do deals with certain people and they squash others. Their quality control is horrendous. All the other platforms require, like 40 hours of breaking experience and, a real thorough onboarding process. Whatnot's a flea market. If you enter repacks after watching this, I feel bad for you. I don't know if it's like, there's some categories here. You're addicted. Like, you could be addicted, and I don't want to make light of that. You need help. Like, if you are entering money in repacks to try to get something or get value out of this, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So please get some help. Get some gambling help. It's out there. Just call one of the 800 numbers and have them help you with this. Now, if you're not addicted and you just like pissing your money away on there, God bless America. Spend money how you want to spend. Just know where the money's going. 70% of that is going into these guys' pockets that don't care about you. You could support somebody else, somebody small. Maybe at least try to do that and spread your money around. Maybe that's what you do there. And then there's probably a category of people who are just new to the hobby. People watch all the time and they say, what is a repack? If you're new, I feel really bad for you that you saw an ad for Whatnot. Hopefully not on this channel, although I can't control what YouTube shows. But if you see an ad for Whatnot, just know what's behind it and know what the system's like over there. And just be more careful. There are better, well-controlled platforms out there who do things right. They have checklists and floors and things like that. But this is a scary situation. I posted something on Instagram that's going quite crazy right now, and I just pinned a comment and said, like, if you're a big seller on there and you don't like what's happening or things you've seen, just come to me and talk to me. I'll air videos about this. The guy I spoke to here, he was just afraid. He still depends on this for his livelihood. And he was just too afraid to. I'm still working on him. He may come on the channel and put his face up here. But it's not easy to do that. And again, for me to be effective, I need sources that don't feel like they can be burned. So use this information as best you can. And I don't know. Be safe out there. Thanks, everyone.